You are listening to Into a Dream, two friends in conversation about all things intuition and dreaming.
Hi, I'm Peggy Sue Scott. I am a teacher, healer, speaker, and writer of all things intuitive.
Hello, my name is Carr, and I'm a dreaming guide, a death doula, an author, and a psychic medium.
Hi!
Hi!
How's it going?
I'm good, getting ready for the Christmas season.
It's looming.
I know. It feels loomy and looming, doesn't it? It's always a weird time of year, I find.
I know. What does Christmas mean to you, Tree?
I don't know. I think it's the winding down of the year kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also because it's getting shorter, the days feel shorter. It almost feels like this really weird headspace, because it gets very dark early. Like here in the UK, it's like it's getting dark at like 3 or 3:30. It feels like, and if it's a cloudy day, it just feels like endless night.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what it means to me is sort of, going inward and hibernating, but also it's just got a weird feeling, like you feel like quite sometimes a bit lonely and strange just because of the darkness.
Yeah.
So I find it a good time to reflect on the darker aspects of self, the strange feelings of loneliness and disconnection.
I wonder if more people are typically in couples in cold climates than they are in warm climates. Because you want to be together and snuggle, right? In warmer climates, people are out solo, like cycling, surfing, running. I think that there might be something. I don't know why I'm thinking about that. That's where my brain goes. But then I think if you're not in a relationship, especially at Christmas, it's somehow has a weird connotation, like there's something wrong with you, or why are you, where's your family? And as you get older, we're all losing our families, siblings are going, parents going, you do end up solo a lot. And there's a stigma about being alone at Christmas. Quite frankly, I love it, because I can either go to a beach, which I've done a lot of Christmases. If I'm not at a beach, I'll go to the movies. And you'd be surprised how many people go to the movies. There's Jewish people. There's people who don't believe in Christ. Believe it or not everybody's sitting around a Christmas tree. They're going to Chinese restaurants and going to the movies.
Yeah, it's a great time to do that. I love the aspect that I love about Christmas is that the world stops. So it feels like you can just breathe for a couple of days. But having said that, it's the ramp up before Christmas that's so stressful for so many people. Rampant consumerism, and everyone's stressing and rushing around, buying gifts or overspending, traveling to, everything gets clogged up. So there's a lot of stress around the build up to Christmas.
And then there's the sales afterwards.
Yeah, it doesn't stop.
I mean, that's the thing. It used to stop, which I love too. I mean, I remember in England when nothing was open on a Sunday. You had to have your Sunday lunch with your friends and hang out in the park and read the papers, because nothing was open. Lucky if a corner store was open, you could get some milk, or some flour or something. That was it. I do miss that. I miss the non, I mean, now it's nonstop, and it's almost too much. You have to really force yourself to slow down.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it does feel like, the event of Christmas has been definitely hijacked by marketing and consumerism, and it's an opportunity for businesses and companies to make money. Maybe even us buying things that we don't even really need too. Or like there's just this gifting culture. I mean, that's really lovely and everything, but if you think about just how much people go into debt after Christmas. So the first couple of months after Christmas, a lot of people are in household debt, and it's a bit, everyone gets a bit blue. There's like kind of there's a slump afterwards. But it's just interesting that, a holiday that started off very, very different, with different meanings and different connotations, has turned into the hugest, consumerist frenzy of the year. And the roots of Christmas are interesting too, because everyone thinks of it as a Christian holiday, but around the time of Christmas, it's the solstice. So it actually has roots that go back ancient, but like further back to more pagan roots, pagan times. But there's sculptures all around the world that honor the solstice. So it's not just like paganism, but there's just an honoring of the darkest day, effectively. And the date, the 25th of December as well, was, that's not actually Christ's birth. And nowhere does it say that in the New Testament that that's Christ's birth. But it was actually a Roman holiday, and it was the Roman solstice, December 25th. And so it was adopted into Christianity as being the day of Christ's birth. But it's actually the day where we honor the darkest and shortest day, and we welcome that the light will come, the sun will come back. So those are the roots, really, of the 25th of December. So I always try to go back to that, like honor something that's in the darkness, honor the light that we want to move into. I think it's a really great time to face sadness and face depression and just open up the heart and let the light in.
So do you have any tips about like how you can do that? Is it a thought process, or do you have like a ritual that you can suggest?
Yeah, I think a really good thing on the darkest day. So the darkest day is actually the 22nd, or the 20th and the 21st. It varies around the world, right? So I think in the States it's the 21st. Over here in the UK it's the 22nd this year. But certainly that week is like the darkest week of the year. And I think a really nice sort of ritual that you can engage in is, just lighting a candle is a really nice ritual. A lot of people light candles around Christmas, but lighting a candle for yourself, to honor the light within you and to welcome the light. And also a lovely thing to do, instead of just lighting a candle, is write a few things that you want to release, a few things that you're sitting with that feel like you're in the dark about. So it could be, it could be emotions, it could be feelings of sadness or loss or grief or feelings of depression, or it could be that it's just something that's troubling you in some kind of way, that holds a wound within you, or something that you want to move out of. It could be like you want to move out of addiction or move out of behavioral patterns, and simply writing down these things on a piece of paper, and then letting them go to the light. One way of doing it is you just burn the piece of paper in the fire and just let the flames consume it. Don't forget to have a little bowl or something that you could put the fire
outside.
or do it outside. But I mean, this is just like an example of some kind of ritual that you can engage in that's just honoring that day, but also as a metaphor and a reflection, a symbolic reflection of what you might be navigating spiritually and within you.
And I think just the ritual and the acknowledging of it starts shifting it, instead of just having like this fleeting dark thought in your mind going around looping. If you acknowledge it and put a name on it and write it on a piece of paper, it actually kind of makes it realish, and then you can do something to change it.
Yeah,
sometimes it's all of that is letting go of it and acknowledging it.
Absolutely. And there's something to be said about ritual or doing a process, like a physical process with something. It's very cathartic. And like you said, Peggy Sue, it brings things into more of a reality because you're getting it out of your head into some kind of like physical manifestation that you're able to work with. And so using your hands and using your intent and writing things down, getting it out of the mind onto a piece of paper, into the flame, and that symbolic act can really kind of shift people's mindsets and shift some emotions within. I think it's a really great time to do these sort of things, especially this time of year. It's heavy, you know. This is the heaviest time of year for a lot of people. You know, suicide rates go up around Christmas. There's a lot of people who really suffer around Christmas because not just because they might not have loved ones or family members, but also just because memories. Christmas holds almost like a collective memory for everyone because we're all celebrating this simultaneously all over everywhere.
Yeah.
We can all look back at Christmases and remember them. Oh, Uncle Joe got really drunk at that one Christmas, or oh, my parents, you know, bought me such and such, or my parents were getting divorced that year. You know, sometimes we can associate painful events or trauma with Christmas, or they remind us of family members that have died too, because every Christmas you think, oh, I'm really missing my, you know, my partner, I'm missing my grandmother. So Christmas is it's a kind of a volatile time in many, many different ways. So it's a really great time to do this ritual or to amp up your self-care and your self-love.
Yeah.
Self-love and self-care, and working intuition, and also working with your dreams, and you're also working with your sleep, because I know this time of year people get really like tired and sleepy, and the sleep cycles get all very out of whack, mostly because there's not much sun, so people do tend to get more sleepy because it does affect the melatonin production in your brain, which regulates our sleep. So little tips: if you feel like your sleep is not so great, really look into getting some vitamin B12. That's very helpful. Getting little doses of sun, like up to half an hour of sun a day. If you're not somewhere sunny, you can get your vitamin D. That's a good supplement. This helps a lot with your melatonin production. So it's very helpful. Also try to stick to a regular sleep cycle as well, so that you don't fall into feeling like you've got insomnia at night, or you're finding it very difficult to wake up in the morning. And believe it or not, exercise, even just 20 minutes of exercise a day, even if it's just a walk, just get your blood moving, get your body moving. That helps a lot with your energy levels. If you're feeling the winter slump and your energy levels are low and you're just feeling sleepy all the time.
I mean, it's a lot of fun for kids. I had great Christmases as children. I mean, we just had the best Christmases. And then you find out that this big fat man in reindeer is not really bringing your presents. That was a big shock for me. I thought, I really lied to, you know, and that's got to do something to kids.
I think it probably does. You don't trust your parents ever again after that. Or, yeah, I think it can be quite upsetting for a lot of children to find out Santa doesn't exist. Yeah.
No kids are watching this.
Yeah. This is for kids, kid-friendly video.
And also, you can go to shelters and give out gifts and things like that. That's a friend of mine does it all the time. I've never done it because I don't really have a good excuse. But I think for me, I'm so sensitive that I'd probably want to take the kids home with me. You know, I just would feel so bad. I would want to take them because I just fall in love with children too easily. And seeing them not happy would would just upset me, you know.
Yeah.
But I know people do that yearly. They go and they hand out they buy Christmas presents and they give them to underprivileged children. That's a nice thing to do.
It's a wonderful thing to do. I have a few friends who do that as well. My partner's certainly done that. Volunteered at a homeless shelter, soup kitchen sort of scenario to feed the homeless. And sometimes around this time of year when we do small acts of kindness and gifting, and for those that are less fortunate, it can be really healing, especially if you're feeling like really blue and down.
Yeah, it takes you out of your stuff.
It takes you out of your stuff when you do small acts of kindness for others. All of a sudden, it shifts it. There's something amazing like this. We've talked about it in our previous video, gratitude, this amazing feedback loop that you can receive from gratitude. You get the same energetic feedback loop with small acts of kindness too. You feel the love coming back to you. It actually kind of heals you of your own broken heart, or your own grief or loss, or your depression. It does lift you out. Yeah.
And it makes you realize that your problems really are very small compared to a lot of other people's. You know, we make them bigger than. I had a teacher who said once, we are but a dot on a piece of foam in the ocean or on the beach, and you just go, wow. I think my problems are this big, and I'm just like, if you take yourself and go away from the world, you're just a little teeny tiny speck that you can't even see. I mean, I'm not trying to devalue our humanness and our experience, but that's perspective, right? It's perspective.
Absolutely. That really helps a lot, getting perspective of situations.
You know, I like this idea of writing down what your problem is, right? Or what you're upset about. But also, how about making a list of things that you do look forward to in the new year? You know, what are the things that you want to create? Because with just writing those down and having them on a piece of paper, it's out of your mind, it's on paper, you're already starting to create it. You know, and then there are other steps you can go on to create that, but that might be a good way to get people to say, write 10 things about what they do desire. And it can be anything from like a pair of green shoes, or a really nice, I'm trying to think of a small things, because it's better to start with small things than, you know, I want the house, because that's a little harder reach right away unless you're a really good magician. Let's start with smaller things, you know, just things that are tangible.
Yes, start small and realistic in a way, tangible,
and then see how that comes about, and then start going for the bigger things.
So good. That is really good, and it really good to look, you know, ahead to the new year. It's not just a new year; it's also a new decade. So that feels quite significant as well. We're moving into the 20s.
Oh yes, that's right.
So also seeing this, you know, Christmas, New Year, you know, we do a lot of reflection on the past year, but this is going to be kind of like reflecting on the past decade and really looking at what life lessons did I get from the past decade? What do I need to integrate and move forward into the next decade of the 20s in a very different way?
Yeah, I remember thinking when I was younger, the 2020 sounded so futuristic. I thought we'd be walking around like seeing, you know, laser vision with our eyes and having it just, you know, it's getting there, but
I know. I had such high hopes for 2020. Come on. I thought there'd be flying cars.
Well, there are flying mobiles. I have to send you a picture of one. I found one in a magazine of this Japanese woman flying in this. I mean, they can only go so far and so high and stuff, and they have nothing surrounding them. It's just you sitting. It's almost like kite flying. Is that what it's called? When you're
okay.
But it's a little more motorized. I mean, they are getting there. They're working on it. It's going to happen in hopefully our lifetime. I'd like to see it. I'd like to fly it. And those people had the vision, right? They had the vision. They wrote it down. They were like, I want to create this. And I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It takes the seed, right? The seed, the thought.
Yeah, the thought of the idea, and just start planting it and start watching it grow. It is amazing. Yeah, so there's a lot you can do around this time, Christmas, New Year. That's quite self-transformative.
Yeah, I'm getting excited now. It's honestly a little blue about Christmas. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was like, now I'm actually going to, I think, take the day and really walk the talk. Is that what
walk and talk with yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to do these exercises and start off fresh. And I love waking up January 1st, not going out, not drinking, not doing anything. I just like waking up feeling really fresh and awake and aware and clear about my future.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, isn't it? It's good to just go, this is the first day of like this whole new year, and let's make some amazing stuff. Let's completely evolve this.
I mean, we should really be doing that every day. Wake up every day. Oh, today's the beginning of the new year.
Yeah.
But we've got some exciting stuff. I'm excited about, we now have our Hawaii retreat coming up. I'm super jazzed about that. And we've got the other ones that are almost in place. Can't talk about those yet till they're almost in place, but they're coming.
Yeah.
And I feel the energy of Hawaii is going to be really amazing and transformative.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can feel it too. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Amazing place Mahala Ana is. That's the beginning of our 2020.
Is Hawaii time. Yes. In April. So it's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to rolling that out.
Got the horses and the dream work and all the intuition stuff and the land, and it looks over the water. It is like the bedrooms look over the ocean. It is so stunningly beautiful and peaceful and ancient. It just feels when you're there that you're in another world.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait. So anyone watching or listening, check out our website, because we're going to go live with that relatively soon. www.intuadream.com. It's also in the description below our video.
If anybody's feeling blue over Christmas, get a hold of us and we'll give you some exercises to do. Here's to the change for 2020 and all that's going to come with it.
That's amazing. Wishing everyone so much love and a very special solstice.
You've been listening to the Into a Dream podcast. Join us next time for more conversations with Peggy Sue Honeyman Scott and Carr.